What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So let's talk about the price action for today for AMC. We're sitting at about $37.09, 7 cents, 10 cents. We're down a little bit after being kind of down in the dumps. I'm kind of glad that we are here, right? I would like to see it a lot higher, but I'm just happy that it made like sort of a full recovery from where it actually started at. But basically, we're going to go through a lot of the information that happened, the price action today, the volume, the Fintel data, the Ortex data, all of that stuff. And we're going to see where I think we will get to tomorrow. So it's going to be more of my thoughts and predictions on what we can see in the after hours market and in the pre-market. And, tomorrow, hopefully we could see some, or not tomorrow, I guess, Monday, because today's Friday. All the days just blend together, it seems. But anyways, guys, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell, because I notice there's a lot of people that are not notified. And the best way to get notified is at least have that checked. So go ahead and hit that notification button. And also check out some of the links in the description if you want to follow my reaction channel or the MP Shorts channel or the Perry Experience. Then definitely do all of that. It is a great way to support the creators that you follow. But let's talk about AMC a little bit, right? So in the pre-market, we did see some positive movement in the pre-market after we seen a little bit of a kind of a dip. The way that it was falling in the after hours market, it fell consistently. It wasn't something that was a huge fall. It was just falling consistently until it got to about the open, right? When it got to the open, the open of the pre-market, it increased here, and then it started to decrease down to 36. And then after that, you've seen that crossover of the 15 moving average to the 200 EMA, and it started to hold at that point up here in like the $37, $38 mark. It did open up at $37.79 to where you've seen a little bit of an increase and then a complete pullback to where it looked like it had a recovery here up to about $37 and then brought it back down and consistently had those ups and downs, the false breaks, and then break back down where it hit a low of $34.69. So seeing that, people thought, oh, it's going to go back down to sub 30. We're going to see this at 20. And it just got a lot of people thinking. When you see negative days, that's all you really do is you just think. You just take time and you think about everything this can get to, and if you're making the right decision and all that, you start overthinking things. But as we've seen it get to this low of $34, it started consistently moving up. Now we did have some peaks where we got up to 36, dropped back down to 35, got up to 36 again, dropped back down to 35, and then it started to really run up. So it wasn't something where it was creating these highs and lows, or lower highs or lower lows or anything like that. It was starting to create higher highs and higher lows here, creating that higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, high. Well, I guess now it kind of broke that chain, and maybe it's starting to create a wedge. And if it starts to create that wedge, it'll look like it's starting to level out somewhere around 37. So I would imagine it's going to close somewhere around 37 unless we see this suddenly start to really drop. We have about 15 minutes left in the market, which anything could really happen. I'm just thinking that we're going to start creating more of a wedge, and it's going to actually level out somewhere around maybe the $37.15. That's where I'm thinking that we're going to basically level out at. So we'll see as the rest of this video goes on. I don't know if it's not going to last for 15 minutes, but we will see. So basically, to go through the numbers, $37.79 is where we opened, $38.40 of a high, $34.69 of a low. We do look at the volume, and the volume is around 82 million shares worth of volume today. And I would imagine there was a lot of shorting going on. It wasn't necessarily people that were selling their positions. There's probably a lot of shorting that was going on in this part. So what we're going to look at, let's look at the Ortex data here. We're going to see that, let's update this. We're going to see that Ortex is showing a positive short interest change on I guess, on our end or our part, because we're looking at the borrowed shares that they borrowed. It's going to look good for us. They returned 1.9 million shares. What I'm concerned with, and I keep saying every single time, is the 1.9 that's returned, and then the however many million shares that they end up shorting. It just doesn't make sense to me. It does not line up. So this estimated number seems like it might be just off. But, and I hear people are just struggling with the data they're getting from Ortex. They're struggling with thinking that it's accurate, especially, I mean, if you pay what, $599 or something like that, a year. I was going to say a month. A year, you want to get accurate data, and they're just giving you, I guess, the bare minimum, which it doesn't include everything. We know that it's 80%, right? 70 to 80% of the actual data out there. So we understand that. But I actually had some data from Fintel. So I subscribed to their monthly service to see what they were talking about, because they changed the short volume ratio to include FINRA data and also include CBOE data. So you're looking at that short volume and you're combining that short volume as well, because you look at this and you're adding on 7.3 million short volume to that 24 million short volume. And then yesterday, the day before that. So this is actually, you're looking at a combination of these two. So for these days back then, you were looking at about 67 million shares worth of short volume, and 64 million shares worth of short volume, or at least I guess 65. So you're looking at higher and higher numbers of short volume, and it's showing you over here that it's 41, 55, 54. But I don't think that calculation is actually correct, because if you look at the the combined total volume, you're going to see that these don't look right, right? These don't look right at all, because this day we had 176 million shares worth of volume. This day we had 150. So this is not including all of the volume that we need to see, and it just doesn't make sense to me. And I was trying to line this up, so I ended up unsubscribing from that service. I still have it for a month just to compare it and see if it's worth it. And then if it is worth it, if I end up getting some something out of it, then I can, re-up. Because what's crazy is you're looking at this volume here. You're looking at the short volume that you have all together, which would be, let's say, 67 million. But if you're trying to get a full calculation out of it, it's not giving you any type of, real information. It's just like what people are concerned about when it comes to Ortex and all of that. So there's a freaking gnat right here, and it keeps bothering me. I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this data and I'm just wondering, why, and how are they covering 1.9 million shares? I missed it. How can they cover 1.9 million shares, or I guess cover it or return it, and they're shorting 67 million or shorting 30 million? How does that even make sense? How does it line up? I mean, that's the question that we have. And I need to go into Ortex to see if I can actually pull a lot of this, volume data and maybe short volume data to see like how much they shorted. I feel like that should be a thing that we can add to this chart or add to this data somewhere, but I don't know how to do it yet because I'm still new to, Ortex. But those are the questions that I have. Either way, I think today wasn't really the worst day. Even though we're down 0.75%, it's not the worst day possible. We went down to 34 and then increased all the way up to 37 again. So we're sitting not pretty, but we're sitting in a better spot than what I thought we would be after seeing the beginning of this day. Seeing how much they were attacking it every time we had some sort of positive move just made no sense to me. But I guess they can do whatever they want. And we're just going to hold on to our position until they get pushed out of this position. Eventually, they're going to get tired of seeing the negative unrealized loss that's there. Right? I guess it's a unrealized loss, not a negative unrealized loss, because that implies that it's two negatives, which would make it a positive. Nevertheless, you know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's where my head is right now. I know that I'm still holding my positions, still looking for this to increase, and still looking for the most positive news possible. So let me know your thoughts on what's actually happening here. I wish I could stream a lot longer in order to get a sense of what's going on, but I know I would have been in a horrible mood without, I guess, reading the comments and all that stuff, because you guys usually put me in a better mood. If I seen, this drop to 34.69 in the live stream, I would have to bring my level up to let people know, hey, this is where my head is. This is what I'm doing with my positions, and I'm going to hold. That's pretty much it. So guys, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Hopefully we finish around 37. I think we're going to. It looks like it's going to wedge here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.